this place where I'm receiving services instead of providing them based on my skill sets, they're losing some funding and nobody seems to be working on additional funding. So that's kind of weird to be refused as a volunteer in that time. They said they don't know what to make of me there. They said, you're not like a regular client, and you're like, we're talking to you like your staff. And I said, well, I'm everything. But what I'm telling them also is you just met your first elusive Homo sapien who walks the talk and lives a transparent life and only seeks to be part of the solution, not the problem. When I'm there receiving the food and taking showers and being grateful, a lot of thank yous and please and following the rules and role modeling that is I'm watching the Deep Impact movie again. Oh man, it's making me cry every time, that movie. And the president at one point says a message at the end, and he could be saying most of us will be facing hardships that are unimaginable. I mean, you might have seen similar things in movies, but to actually live through it is the best thing I can tell you. That's what I would have said in the script for this president is we failed as a people, that we didn't evolve our technology in time to defend our existence and that of the biosphere with this, comet coming here, or asteroid, I'm not too sure anymore. And, they focus technology on, fighting themselves, war, for example, instead of, other projects to defend this planet, as if we were sentient and sapient and we understood that if we don't defend this planet, we really don't know how to defend ourselves. Well, we can't figure that out because we're all fighting each other. So the president, if the script would have made him say, whoever survives, and you're not dead and your injury isn't that bad, help somebody else, because that's the people that we should have already have been. The kind of people that would deserve to survive, the people that act in this way. So I'm telling you guys this because if you plan to live in the next 8 years, people, this is what I'm telling you to do, is start now practicing altruism. Because, there will be survivors, but I'm telling you, in the next 8 years, pretty much 95% of you will live in parts of the earth where you will live through catastrophic events. Pretty sure in the next 8 years, 95% of you will live through catastrophic events that you have never lived through in your lives before. And it won't be like it'll be over the next day. It'll be continuing for the entire lifetime that may be remaining to you and your children and grandchildren. So when I say this, people, I tell you, it's kind of weird seeing a lot of people who believe in the Anthropocene but who don't act like they're preparing for it, even though it's already started. Like, I don't know if you need to see the comet or asteroid pieces like already entered into the atmosphere before you'll say, oh, sorry for that, or I'm gonna hold you in this way now like you deserve, because you're just like me, and you deserve to be appreciated or loved or whatever it is. And it could be strangers right next to you. When one lady gives her seat away for something, there are probably people that love that woman and that say, why'd you do that? You were just having a particular feeling because of the visit with your dad on the last day before it strikes, and your conscience on other things, or you just losing your mom before, who committed suicide before this event came. You were reacting emotionally. Well, do you know that some emotions actually lead to beautiful things? Because what she did, giving her seat away to that particular person in that way, which took courage, assertiveness, leadership skills, was the kind of act you need. And I'm not saying there's a God that'll judge her better or whatever. She's already a decent person. But because that's what she did on the last day. It's because that's what a creature that calls itself an Homo sapien would naturally do. Any day. Not necessarily on the last day. So think about that, people. What's the difference between a library and a bank? Well, there's really no difference. The library broke their promise. They sent an email automatically that my holes were canceled, so they didn't want to pay for things that didn't already start to be on their way, which means that somebody didn't already pay for them like them. So that's the people that just got funding and they don't know if they're going to spend it on maybe more comfortable chairs so they can hang out in the back office together and look at the same screen, and also maybe be too comfortable in the chair to even want to draw straws. Who's going to be getting the last seat in a helicopter, or who's going to draw a straw to have to go serve a customer at the library? Oh my God, not a patron at the library. Can't you guys just stay home? Man, books are online now. Yeah, they deserve all the funding they get, except they're not going to put it towards what is good for the patrons. I can tell you that, internet or anything related, I'm pretty sure about that. Unless there's a way that some of the patrons are actually the people they love in their families. Oh, this kid would love this, so we're going to do this for this kid that we know. And I'm not saying that's wrong, it's just wrong. It's not wrong because you're doing something good for a kid. It's just wrong the way you're choosing what to do and why and your motivation for it. Now, I've been banned from the last library because I was telling a Japanese lady that she didn't have to be domesticated the way they were domesticating her to be crappy at customer service and not care about patrons. Now, there's a young lady that works at this library here in town in Castlegar, and she actually has skills that she should be teaching the older ones that have seniority over her, and they don't want that training probably, so I'm stuck with them being very crappy at their job. Now, this lady, this young woman, if I tell her one time, which is similar to what happened with the Japanese woman, is you're better than this. You might like it here, or you might think just a little bit longer, but I'm telling you, the environment that the other people are creating is bad for you. So in a way, I'm empowering this young woman to make life choices that are more healthy for her because she's picking up this bad mimetic role modeling from them. And that also she has so much more intelligence and potential, and you could see it being kind of pulled back down pretty much every day she shows up at work. Especially if I interact with any of them, then she's going to start acting like to have the path of least resistance in the job. Pretty common thing is she's going to start treating me like they treat me. So her potential to become a good person, an empowered, strong woman, a better role model for other younger women is destroyed. So it's crappy internet there, but I've decided I'm not going to say this to try to empower this woman, because the consequences to me with all the issues that I have to solve every day because of uncaring people primates during the Anthropocene. There's not a comment there, but I'm telling you, in the next 8 years, 95% of you would live through some form of catastrophic times. And it won't stop, it'll keep going. Starting in the next 8 years. Pretty much anywhere on Earth, 95% of the people primates. The bank, well, I did do my due diligence to give them the information they need in advance. They'll say it's for others to hear them so they don't crash, and yet they ride like this. And they also get hearing impairments, which makes them miss things and make them crash. I don't know what to tell you guys. I just put a video on Facebook that says, hey, only the wise people primates can do such things. The other dumb animal will never get a chance to. And it's a video of little bits and pieces of people doing stupid things while they're driving vehicles. So it's the stupidity that, yes, other dumb animals will never reach this kind of stupidity that you see in these videos, using technology to destroy yourselves and your lives. There's no other species that dumb on the planet. So at the bank, I spend an entire hour, and during that time I make a point, because it's happened to me a lot and it's happening right then, is people don't realize that if I charge them for my time, including when I can provide the evidence that I've done my due diligence, that it should have taken less than an hour to get this done, and it wasn't even done in that hour, and she keeps saying, I have another appointment, and I'm so busy. That's the first thing she says. She asks me, how are you doing today? And I say, a lot of problems to solve. Whatever it is I said, that if she cared, she would have, probed once or twice and then closed it with some sort of compassionate statement. But no, she said, I'm super busy. Yeah, well, you're busy giving yourself more work because... So it's supposed to be an account with no fees for my not-for-profit. And then she showed me which one. Then she turns it into another one where it's $250 per month. And I keep asking her, and I'm not signing these papers. And then she's got to redo things, and then she talks about a third one that she doesn't say anymore, and then we're back to the first one. And doesn't get done, and she's trying to make me feel guilty like I wasted her time. But during that appointment, I say, you know, a lot of people waste my time, and I can prove it's not my fault. So a bank trying to get $250 a month when they weren't supposed to, and then the library also trying to save $1 or $2 there, and then they lose the very patrons that they serve, and they lose their humanity at the same time. But you know, because nobody's put a financial value on humanity, it doesn't seem to exist. Anyways, so to finish up, is at the bank, I said that, you know, if I charge people based on my skill sets, education, experience for an hour, they'd pretty much go bankrupt, and yet I don't do it, and you guys don't get the point. So a lot of my time got wasted in that way, and this was a time where I woke up with problems to solve that were, again, the same that have happened before by BC's Ministry of Poverty Creation, and they still don't know how it happens, and it'll happen again. So again, people hate problem solvers because I want to help and I want to figure things out, but everybody's afraid to problem solve because it means being unpopular at work, and they're afraid to lose their jobs. So guess what? If a comet was about to hit you in less than 24 hours, you could not at this point deviate from the programming to act in an inhumane way because you'd be afraid to lose your job on the last day of your existence.